As I
to be something that's gonna.
I just turned the record on, but we're good.
Okay.
Let's see. So, you know what? We have a very short agenda tonight. So Thanksgiving Day race. Hopefully the weather changes and clears out a little better for us. We were at 200 pre-registered runners last Thursday on Veterans Day when the price went up to the rate it is now. I think we're close to 400. So it's, you know, we had 200 this week. I'm projecting about 650 to 700, but the weather is a key point. The shirts, we did get, the shirts were ordered about 7,400. We only got about 4,000 sponsors, so we were a little bit in the hole to start. You know, so hopefully we'll have a good, good showing for the runners. We're gonna stay outside, so no use of the auditorium. We'll have porta potty. Graham Waste was one of our biggest sponsors. They donated $500, and they also donated 4 porta potties for the back of the town hall. So that was great that we got that. We will have tents, hopefully, if it's not too windy, in front of town hall. One with Jenna and the check-in, any registrations, and then one with the t-shirts. I did. Kelly Gilday is going to be our nurse at the finish line, waiting for her husband and her 4 boys to finish. But she'll be there as a sort of our proxy nurse. Police and fire details all set. The race company is all set. They're going to sit in their truck instead. I might, instead of having them run a generator, I might try to plug in their computer from town hall so it's not as loud and noisy.
Ted,
So-
where would you like me to report?
I would just, hopefully, Ron Ford's sort of in charge of the start. So I'm sort of, we're going to hopefully, depending on the weather, that's going to be a key factor now. Have people stay in the common, spread out in the common, then we'll start. I just got a new battery for our PA system. So that's good to go outdoors. We'll have water. I just ordered 24 cases of water. It's here. We'll just sit down in the front step of town hall. My goal is to try to spread everybody out a little bit. I'm going to recommend to staff that they wear a mask, especially the ones who are sitting in the finish line with all the people breathing on them when they're running by. And let's see, I'm trying to think of what else. Let's say police and fire are all set. We got a good amount of staff. The Chatterton Fund did donate $1,000 to the new volleyball team this summer, and on the condition that they give us at least 10 volunteers. So we have 10 volunteers. They're mostly adults. A lot of parents for the girls on the future volleyball team. So we got about 6 staff and about 4 kids that have worked the race many years. The Bennett boys and the Menching boys, they're regulars. So it's always tough to find people who want to go to the street spots, and stand there, in the rain or whatever by Sandy Beach, which is always a little chilly. And they're sort of the street guards and opening up streets and reopening as soon as the police car goes by or the ambulance goes by at the end. But yeah, we'll stay outside. Jack, just have to do the medal presentation at the end.
Yep.
And Will today told me he's going to be there at the race, so he's actually going to take the photos from Quasset Anchor and take I showed him a picture of the 2 winners we had 2 years ago. So I asked him if he could take pictures at the finish line of the top men and women, the top three. And actually, Tim Quasset Hospitality Partners are giving us 6 pies donation. So they're going to
top three.
Yep. So they're getting pies, to finish. On a side note, we tried to give out awards 7 years ago, and the college kids couldn't take it because it would ruin their college eligibility. So we stopped trying to recruit, donations for prizes because any of the college kids that win. But no, other than that, like I said, the weather's a key factor. So we'll see how that goes. So
Who's in charge of weather? Allison, you're in charge of weather.
Yeah. But any, it's only 4 you here, but any of you guys want to help, I know, Tim, you're running, right?
I'm going to run. Yeah.
Okay. like I said, the biggest thing is getting everybody into corrals a little bit and trying to get, especially those top runners in front, because it's always, gets me nervous now that we have chips now. That some guy who we think wins might have started 10 seconds later, further in the pack. So we want to, the good news of having Spittler out front with us is that they can confirm who the first, if there's two guys that finish neck and neck, at least Spittler will be able to tell us, by the chip, who did finish first before we start giving out pies and medals. We do have we actually did order new, for the champions, we ordered our own ribbons.
Oh,
A
nice.
little more classy because this thing always stays the same. So, but we can use these for different events too. So,
Yeah, it's very nice. I like that.
yeah.
Good advertising.
Yeah, I noticed that another road race that they were giving out cheap medals, but the ribbon was the best. So I'm glad we did it. So that's all I have. Ryan is here. We had the open house, the ribbon cutting today, and Jack and Tim and Todd were there. Had a good crew of kids. Ryan, do you want to chime in?
No,
There we go.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan wants to chime in.
Chiming in here. Yeah, today it went well. Thank you guys for showing up and supporting, and obviously all the advocating beforehand as well to get it to where we are. Glad that it's being seen well throughout the community. It's being well supported, and the numbers are supporting in turn the support that I got initially, servicing a very specific part of our community that most wouldn't believe to be at risk, but nothing discriminates against anyone. Having a place for them to just be active and have fun and idle hands type situation and conversation that is had time.
So,
Oop.
always really fortunate, and I'm very thankful to work in a community.
What happened to
Lost
Ryan's
you,
sound?
Ryan.
We lost your sound.
Where'd you lose me at?
You're back.
Where did you guys lose me?
Idle hands.
Yeah, so idle hands is like that conversation that happens and you hear about all the time. It's, and that I grew up in a sleepy town, small town just like this. There just wasn't anything for anyone to do. So I'm really proud and thankful to work here and work in a community that sees the benefit of something like this, and that our youth are diving in head first and are having fun down there, first and foremost. Yeah, and we're just getting started, really. So just bright future and days ahead as far as the rec center is concerned.
Ryan, it seemed to be kind of dominated by boys. Do you have young girls that are attending also, or?
Yeah, we have a real, actually, our earliest group of attendees were mostly young ladies, and they still frequent the place. I guess it just matters of we're seeing a bit of a transition from fall to winter activities, so we're seeing a bit of a different trends as far as day-to-day attendance and everything like that. So we're seeing new kids. We've actually had 11 registrations just within the last, well, this month, but 9 actually within the last 3 days, I believe, actually. So yeah, we're just seeing a kind of a different turn, and yeah, we're getting there.
How
Well, we
many do you have?
appreciate it. You've done a great job. Sorry, Allison.
I just was curious how many you have registered total.
I think we're at 72.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
I think
good.
it's 72 overall. And, I just from what I've been told from the 6th and 7th graders that, currently frequent the place, is that the 5th graders are, really looking forward to next year. So I anticipate the numbers not only being the same, but certainly being greater, because we're having such a high level of buy-in already with the youth that we are already serving. And I don't see them going anywhere. And we're really continuing to build So it's really only going to get better anyway.
We're gonna try, we're gonna have an article, hopefully, it might be Crescent Anchor or the Crescent Mariner as a follow-up to today's ribbon cutting, but also to a little bit of the history of the building and why it's been, we've had it for 21 years now. January 8, 2000 is when the rec board saved that building and reopened it for teen center. But we're also gonna do a little wish list because I know, Ryan, we're looking for more gaming systems. We're also looking for a little sound system, which, so we're gonna try to do a little appeal, a Christmas appeal, for, and just have it out there in the Mariner, just saying that, if anyone wants to donate anything, just to cover the cost of, we have spent some good money down there already, and the floor showed up, we have a brand new floor on the first floor. Thanks to you guys, that $13,000 was, we definitely smell the difference when you walk in here from all the water damage we've had in 5 years on the first floor. So I think it's definitely healthier for Jen and Ryan and us to be in this building with the amount of water damage that's underneath the rug on the first floor. So yeah, so we're getting there, just looking forward to, what to figure out what we're going to do with the mask mandate. I know many of you probably watched the school committee last night. But the question will be, we're still a town building. So if if the middle school opens up, no mask, we got, I don't know if we should make an appeal to the town saying it'd be tough for the kids to not have masks all day and then come down to us and be forced to put them back on again. So
When does that go into effect, Ted?
I might, do you remember who, I would defer to you guys, Tim or Allison, you guys watch it last night? I forget when the middle school was it?
So the state has it in effect, I think, until Jan 15th or somewhere around there. So it's.
Yeah, it's like Jan 15 or 18. Yeah.
I thought that we might try to do the middle school earlier, maybe. Elementary is after Martin Luther King Day.
I think they have to wait until the state gives the go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, that'll be something that's going to pop up in the next, hopefully, if things don't go south on us, that, we'll have a decision to make about masks. It won't be our decision, not that, figure something out for the town. So, but no, it's going well. I think nothing really special. We closed around Thanksgiving a little bit. I think, am I missing anything else, Ryan? Yeah. So,
No.
so that's all I have. I mean, so the next thing is the field discussion. We, Jack, Tim and I met yesterday about sitting down with, powers to be to figure out our roles, in the field discussion. I know Allison, you and Jeff had asked about that, about 6 months ago. So there's a bigger picture item, to sit down with the town to figure, who's in charge of maintenance. Some of you might have noticed that the high school baseball team made a push to get the baseball field fixed for next spring. So the town found some money, and then the school donated. They didn't donate. They gave $12,000 from the athletic fund. So it's good project up at Milliken. It's gonna be ready for the spring. $24,000 work up there to get the dime. It is something that they're gonna need to look at they're gonna need to spend money every year on that field. So it's not, we just spent $30,000 6 years ago. So it's, something they're gonna need to figure out, 25, either spend $5,000 every year or spend 25, 30,000 every 5 to 6 years to get that brought back up. So, but that was not our project. It was sort of a DPW / Cohasset boosters, baseball boosters. One little thing I have to ask you about the fields is I got a call today from Mrs. Kearney from the PSO. I think Tracy Kearney. Don't know if anyone know her, but they want to do a carnival next June at Milliken was their first suggestion. So I talked to her for a little bit. Obviously, my concerns are a couple things. And Tim, you and I need to talk to Glenn Pratt, because if the turf will be done next summer, Milliken's going to be the hot spot for anything we do, any practicing for the high school team. So it might be a way to get out of that fireman's muster.
Yeah, that's going to have to be pushed.
Yeah. So, so they're asking about that. So Tracy Kearney, I might have her come to the board meeting in December and just give a breakdown of what she wants to do. My concerns are, they're talking about some equipment coming onto the field. And I just, if it's a wet week, it could damage the field. If the turf project's going on, if the milk and field shed is being built next summer, which is supposed to be done too. So I actually mentioned Dare Hill to her because I thought it's great to have, when you have a field that big, sometimes the carnival looks small. If they head in the back of Dare Hill with all the blacktop behind the school, they can have trucks and equipment not on the grass. They can have it on the blacktop. So when she fills out the form, I'll probably invite her to the next meeting because I'd rather get your input on it too. So that's where you're for fields. Committee reports. I know John's not here. Allison, do you have anything on Safe Harbor or? Okay. I know Ryan's been going to the ambassador meetings, so getting involved with them. So no Jeff for the harbor. I don't have much, I just talked about the PSO thing. I did ask, I don't know, Todd, did you ever, when you got on the board, did you ever get a town email address?
Regarding what? Ted?
No, a real town email, like Todd Goff at quest@ma.org. Did they ever send you anything?
So I know that's going back 10 years when I was on CPC. I'm pretty sure at that point, I did have a town email, but I haven't used it in 9.5 years.
Yeah. So the town is.
I'm not aware of any.
Yeah, so there's an event on Monday night. Thank you for your service, boards, committees, and you might have got the email last night on your personal email address. So this was something that was mailed to your town email addresses. And they're wondering why nobody was responding, but I don't think anyone was using using town email. So so they just asked me to pass that along to you guys if you want to go. They asked me to go to present you guys or be there for you guys. So there is one thing I want to show you guys. I'm going to share my screen here. We want to start looking at next summer. And we switched to 2-3 weeks. We always start after the 4th of July. What I have here for you guys is just sort of so we know now what you guys sort of set the dates, the parameters of the program. In that first, yellow is session 1, blue is session 2, red is 4th of July. The orange is sort of is a date that makes me a little nervous about being in the school that long. The school does not like us being, they want 2 weeks before Labor Day, before orientation. So when we fall around the 13th and 12th, they don't seem to, that gives them plenty of time to clean the place up after us. So what I have here for you guys is, and every year is a little different. You'll see in column I and J, it lists the years that where the 4th of July falls. There's a little bit of a gap here too. So there must be a leap year going on in 2024 because it skips or it does skip somewhere there. But I gave you guys the other thing I want to talk about is the fee. So as you see there, I put a column in for minimum wage. This year, next year, and 2023 is the last 3 phases of a minimum wage hike, up to $15 an hour. So that first rate is our support staff. That's the kids we pay minimum wage. The second rate is the counselor rate. So they're a little bit higher, that the kids are actually working with groups. So I wanted to show you guys, what we've charged in the past. So there's a couple questions here. Question number 1 is, that first column, well, 1 through 7 is what happened this year. The 4th of July was on a Sunday. We started camp on Monday. It's a recognized holiday for the town, so there was no school personnel, there was no town employees on. Ryan and I are on salary, so it doesn't affect us. The kids are seasonal, so it doesn't affect them. Like if Jenna works, she gets double time, but because it's that's the recognized holiday. So what we look at is next year, 2022, the 4th of July is on a Monday. The question is, I talked to Allison about this last night, is we obviously aren't never going to have camp. So, just skipping a day. And then just, going, having only 14 days of that week. In the past, when we were a 7-week program, we would take 2 or 3 days off on the 4th of July. If it fell, depending on where it fell, we would take the 4th and the day after, if it was around a weekend. And we counted that to pay for orientation for the staff. And nobody cared because we were so cheap, or as Jack says, inexpensive. And we would
Much
just,
better term.
Yeah.
Inexpensive.
so we, so we would always take the 4th and 5th or 3rd and 4th off in the past with 7 weeks, but it does get a little tricky when you're running a 15-day program and you take a day off. Like I threw this out to Allison last night because she's got children in the program. Her thoughts. Allison, I'm pretty sure you said just take the day off and keep the price the same. I do want to, obviously with some minimum wage hikes that are going on, 2 more. I was looking at the rate. I mean, so over the top right corner there is the 2019, well, not top right, but in my Excel sheet, you saw what we charged in 19, the rates, the hourly rate. What that means under when it says 45, 60, 90, that's how many hours there are for that program for the 3 weeks. And the rate we charge and the hourly rate per hour. It does cost us more as the kids are younger because the ratio is half of what we do for, you'll see there in the 2022, the ratio is 6-to-1. It's 8-to-1 for the 5-year-olds. It's 10-to-1 for the Osgood kids who are the kindergarten, and 12-to-1 for all the Deer Hill groups, the 4 age groups there. So, this was the rate we had last year, and I apologize for the tapping upstairs. Not good timing, but hopefully you guys can hear me. But I just, we are, instead of going up 3 years in a row, I was thinking today of this. And this is, of just setting the rate. I mean, many of you have kids in our program, and I think $5 an hour. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, is that too much or too little? I mean, you think it's okay for $5 an hour for a summer program?
I think it's fine.
Yeah. And like I said, then we high five these guys here. These are the kids are here, the 5-year-olds, the high five program that are here for 20 hours a week. And then just keeping the price going forward, because as you see here, when I was raising the price up a little bit every year, in 2023 I was going to say $4.99, $6.65. Just keeping it, $5 an hour, $6.50 an hour, until who knows if we're going to see another minimum wage hike in 2024. I cannot picture it. I don't know if you guys, more minimum wage hikes in Massachusetts, but so my first question, obviously was, the rate, sort of a set fee for hours. And then going forward, just do we take one day off for the 4th in, this session, when it's on a Monday and a Tuesday? I know this gets a little tricky, when you have the, Sunday 4th of July weekend for these guys, but we can't go, the 18th is just too late for us. And this scares me a little bit too, because we're going to 17th. Do we start and take a day off in the middle of the week? I'm not too worried about, here I think we're okay a little bit. We start on the day after the 4th of July. It's a long start on the 8th and go to the 16th. I think we're a little bit safe. And this one's, pretty safe too. But you see the different years we have to deal with. We don't have to deal with this Wednesday, 4th of July until 2029. But we will have to deal with this next year and this in 2 years, the 2020, the 4th on a Tuesday. So I know there's only 4 of you, but anyone have any suggestions or thoughts or Yeah, Paul, like I said, I'm gonna mute myself for a second if you wanna, if anybody wants, if you guys wanna talk, each chime in.
I don't think I'll comment on 2024 or 29. I'll be 102 or something like that, so.
Then your voice would be especially important then, Jack.
Correct.
Yeah, are we just talking about for next year, for next summer?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind, I mean, yeah, we could, I mean, we could just talk about, I mean, ideally, if you wanna wait till we're in person and I don't have tapping over my head, maybe in December when we're all here. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a big picture of how we're gonna treat this, but, okay, so let's talk about 2022. You wanna, do we go, like I told Allison last night, do we charge less for the 1 day less?
What is the cost? What is the difference? What are you talking about money wise?
Well, I mean, if you divide it by, yeah, they lose 6 hours. So they lose $30. Do we?
I
just
think it would be okay to just take Monday off, keep the price the same. And that $5, the little bit of an increase that you had talked about, I think all of it is fine.
Okay.
I
I
agree.
agree with Allison. That's great.
So next year we'll go with this whole, we'll go with this schedule, take the 4th of July off. We'll go with these rates for full day and the high fives. The next question is, bring it back to 4-year-olds. There's been some suggestions about this might be, after we dropped them last year, because we couldn't have 100 kids here last year. We are one of the youngest recreation day programs around, starting that young. We used to start at 3.5 back in the day. I mean, I could go either way. We obviously lost Carly. We probably won't get her back now that she had a baby. But and it does make things easier here a little bit, because when we have the 4s and 5s, even though it's a little bit of a gap, 9 o'clock and 9:15, we still need the use the music circus parking lot, worry about the train, hire additional staff for the street. So we don't, I don't know, I mean, it's your call. I mean, do we run the 4-year-old 9 to, when I say 9 to 1 there for these guys, they're really 9:15 to 1:15, which actually helps with the crazy traffic on Surrey Street. It allows the kids being dropped off Oscar and Deer Hill. If we did the little guys here, we'd probably start them, 9:15 or 9:30, have a little bit of gap, avoid the traffic. So.
And I don't know how other people feel, but what do you recommend?
I'm on both sides. I mean, I could see there's a lot of kids here, between, 40, 50 and 50, over 100 kids.
Are you gonna get the staff?
We get the staff, we put the youngest staff, there's a 6-to-1 ratio. We'll get the staff. I mean, we didn't hire as many people, last year, hey, I'd love to hire more staff. But like I said, I've been telling, when I have dealt with all these, youth CMI and swim center, this was the year to make changes, because, nobody notices it after the fact. I mean, my goal was to have the 4s here and have Linda operate a summer program for the 3-year-olds. We need, obviously we could use the income downtown. We don't have the teen center there during the summer. And then the dance studio moved from here downtown for the summer too. So between the 4 of you, I know, majority, what are your thoughts about bringing the 4-year-olds back?
How many did you normally have sign up?
About 50. They were both about 50.
Say it one more time.
50 each, 54-year-olds and 55-year-olds.
So.
4-year-old seems young to me.
And I just am wondering, could we increase, is there a demand for those 5-year-olds to get into the program? And could we increase those numbers instead?
We did. I mean, we actually did, because originally it was, we were trying to stay at 36 and 48, 36 4-year-olds and 48 but we took more 5-year-olds this year. COVID helped a little bit because we didn't have as much, we didn't have a huge wait list. I think we had 52. So we did increase that number enough for one more group. So we went up to another 8 kids almost. So we could, I mean, and so the 5-year-olds we have at the Osgood are kids who are have finished kindergarten. The 5-year-olds we have here are going into kindergarten. So they're the younger 5s.
Okay. So there's still the 9 to 1, 9:15 to 1:15?
15 to 115, yep. And we could take more. I mean, it's a little more, and the good news this year is we didn't have to use the new circus parking lot. So we saved on 2 extra staff people just to help get through the craziness on Sawyer Street.
I feel like if we could take more of the 5-year-olds and not maybe do the 4-year-olds, I just feel like all those kids who are going off into kindergarten, how great for them to have more interaction with each other before they start at the school. I guess I just sort of think about that aspect of things.
And I think we'll get, obviously COVID, most people only did 1 session this year with us. Just because they want to get out of town. So I think we'll see more kids we'll have more of an interest because more kids are going to want to do 6 weeks.
Mhm.
So Tim or Todd, any thoughts?
No, I'm with Allison on that. I think that makes more
Yeah.
sense. I think you're opening a can of worms to bring the 4s back.
And we could, Linda Bolster, if we get her up and running, we just have to tell her to staff herself a little. She's always had about 12 to 18 kids there in the summer from 9 to, at the same time as we did. So she could just bring in a few extra people.
Yeah, no, I would agree with Allison as well. I think getting as many of the 5s in there as you can, and more broadly, I don't know if I'm projecting current situation onto what's going to be going on this summer, but are you not concerned about potential staffing issues at all?
I think, this year we actually had one of the youngest crews we ever had. And we had a lot of, that support staff, the next group up to be counselors. So this year, and Kate and I were talking about this, we actually have a good minor league ball club. I refer to it as.
Right.
We have a good, we lost, unfortunately, a lot of the coordinators, the Tara Goodwins and Carly's and John Morris, but we've developed a good farm system, and we had a good group. Like I said, the preschool usually staff goes from support staff to preschool, a few mixed in with high 5, and then they go to Osgood, then Deer Hill. So they actually mature with us, from 16, 17, 18, and go work full day. So and I think last year was a lot of people last year didn't want to work because they wanted to go away for the summer. We lost a lot of staff that had planned to take 2 or 3 weeks off in the summer. We expect some of those to come back. So,
Right.
Okay, so I mean, the consensus is, we can take a vote on this in person at the Wilcott. I think Jack worked out a deal with Chris Senior. Gonna try to meet before the holidays. And I'll put this in writing, and just that way, because it does go on the January brochure. So I definitely want to, if we're gonna meet again the week of December 13th. I know, Todd, you got some basketball going on, but and we're missing a few board members, but the brochure is gonna go to the printer probably by the December 20th. So the week of December 13th, if you guys can look at your schedules. Any days are bad or good, or
December 13th on a Monday?
no, just the week of December 13th.
Oh,
You got basketball, what, Tuesdays and Fridays? Todd?
yeah, I mean, the 13th would work for me if we wanted to do it on a Monday. I think Jack said he was bringing presents for everybody.
Absolutely.
I cannot do Monday. Sorry. to
Okay.
be-
How about Wednesday? Todd, basketball is Tuesday, right? Pretty much? Basketball games?
Tuesday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday should work for me.
Wednesday, the 15th? How about you and
Mhm.
Tim and Jack? You guys all,
Yeah,
But Jack,
I-
Wednesday's a big meeting day for me with all the committees I'm on, but we can work things out.
do you have anything at
Well,
7 o'clock that night?
Tim?
there's no light keepers. No light keepers that night.
No. They're not showing anyway.
So we'll do Wednesday, 12:15 at, at Wilcott. Have a little holiday gathering, so. I mean, is anybody else, anything that you guys want to talk about, or?
No, I don't know. I think Todd's in charge of the weather for the race.
What am I doing?
You're in charge of the weather.
Hey,
Make sure
I
we
think,
get that day in.
I think it's gonna be dry, but I think it's gonna be cold.
Cold,
And I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, cold's okay. Rain is not.
yeah, that was, I think we had cold, was it cold 17, wet 18?
Yeah,
That
you
was-
guys might take cold. You might take cold if you didn't run in the 14-degree wind chill day. So forget about cold and forget about rain. That was 2 years ago.
And then like Monday night, I don't know if let me know if any of you guys are going Monday, because if you guys aren't going, I don't need to go. So, have any of you guys thought about that event at Wilcott?
I won't be able to make it.
Okay. I'm
It's,
also,
it's unlikely that I'll be able to make it. I'm actually going out to the Springfield area to look at schools
Okay.
with Emma,
Nice.
and I don't know when we'll get, we could, if we get home at 5:30 and I'm not totally worn out, then maybe I'll come, but it's kind of a coin flip.
the other news too is, actually, I forgot, Monday, the 13th is actually town meeting. So we should, we couldn't meet it, we would not have been allowed to meet that night anyways. But it'll be good for us after town meeting, we'll have a better picture of the field projects. Actually, Tim, maybe I'll invite Michelle Leary to our meeting.
To the meeting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
It'll be 2
Yeah,
days
to
after-
describe. Yeah, 2 days after the town makes a decision. Yeah.
And maybe we'll get an idea about the turf. I'll try to get as much info, what's going on with the turf. That's definitely gonna be, planned for the spring and the summer. Milliken Field, we're getting up, invite Jeremy to come by. He seems to be more contact than with Michelle and Jason than anybody else, so he knows what's going. They are looking to move the shed closer to Mrs. Trask's house, where the pole is for the water, where the power comes in for the water connection down below. They want to get everything in the building. So, because that one telephone pole gets hit by lightning and knocks off the entire sprinkler system at least once or twice a year. So they're looking to move the building. That's the one thing I do know, away from where it is now. So. I
Could
mean,
you
that's all-
possibly, do you think that building will be done before I'm gone?
Yes.
Oh, wait, that was a serious question?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we'll, if we actually, that's a good day to have a meeting. The 2 days after town meeting is a good time to have. So I'll invite Chris and Michelle. Maybe they give us both an update of where everything's going. So. And then we can work on this. I'm working on the budget, what we just finished this summer. So I have a budget for next summer. Because I definitely want you guys to approve a budget. And, like with Allison, we talked about last meeting, including the mental health component. And just breaking it down more. So, this helps with the knowing what the rate will be. So that's all I have.
Anyone have anything else to add? A motion to adjourn?
I move that
Make a
we
mo-
adjourn the meeting.
A
I second
second? All in favor?
Who seconded that? That was,
Aye.
who was the second there?
Todd,
All in favor signify by signing off.
Well, I'll see you guys, let me know about Monday. I'll see you guys Thanksgiving morning.
Yes.
All right,
Good.
sounds good.
Yep, see you then. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks. this. Jack, I'm trying to
What does he always say?
signify. You still there, Jack? I'm trying.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're just joking about your comment. Signify by leaving. I'm trying to find the screen here so I can close the meeting out. There we go.
There you go.
Stop.